Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City. As you can see, I'm not in my regular Lego studio. That's because I'm traveling, so I'm in my work studio. In this video, I'll be doing a Q&A. So I'll be answering your questions that you have asked, questions from viewers and subscribers. I've culled these questions from comments in videos, PMs I've gotten on Instagram, as well as emails. Now, if you don't hear me answer your question in this video, I'll be saving it for the next video because there are quite a few questions to go. Before I start, I'd just like to say thank you for watching this, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and do leave a comment. The comment helps give me direction for the channel and tells me what sort of content you like to watch. A lot of videos that I have produced are a direct result of comments from viewers and subscribers in my videos, so please do comment. With that, let's get started with the Q&A. Do I buy new parts for each of the MOCs I design? I get this question quite frequently, and no, I do not buy any new parts for the MOCs I've designed. Or rather, I haven't bought anything in close to a year in terms of parts just for MOCs. I have bought parts for my Lego city, such as the trans blue tiles for the water for my Lego city. But if you're talking about specific parts for MOCs that I've released in tutorials or videos that have shown modifications and custom MOCs that I've made, I have not bought any parts. I've got quite a good collection of spare parts. I've amassed these spare parts from the extra parts you get in Lego sets. I've got some Lego builds which I bought in terms of sets, but they either don't fit my city or I don't really like them that much, so I broke them down and I kept the parts. There's also been instances where I've taken on special offers for the Lego stores. In particular, there was a 2-for-1 expert modular building offer. So if you buy 2 modular sets, you can get 1 for free. So I took advantage for that and literally got, I think, about 2 extra sets, 2 duplicate sets which I've used for parts. As a result, I do have quite a lot of parts, and I do make it a point in whatever I build in terms of the MOCs, unless it's something going to be really special or significant, I won't buy parts just for that MOC. Oh, here's another way I do get parts as well. In the past, when I did some brickling orders for certain things that I did need, if I felt that a part would be useful, especially certain modified plates, or even just the regular 1x2 or 1x4 very popular basic color plates like white, light grey or black or dark grey, I would always buy some extra just to have on hand because I know they will be useful for MOCs that I'll be building. Another way I do get parts from time to time, again not specifically to buy parts for MOCs, but if I go to a pick-a-brick wall in the Lego shop and I find that there are some useful parts, because you know they generally would change their stock maybe once or twice a year. If not, it's always the same stuff. Or different Lego shops will have a different selection of bricks in their pick-a-brick wall. So if I see something that's useful, I would buy those parts. And you know, over time you get really good at stuffing those Lego cups. So obviously, if you buy big bricks, there'll be a lot of gaps in the cups to fill up the space. So that's why I'll pick up, you know, studs or 1x2 plates or 1x2 tiles, or just a collection of small parts from each selection. So as a result, I do get quite a few parts that I may not know when I'd use them, but I will get a chance to use them when I build certain MOCs. But I just build my collection that way. The next 2 questions are from Chevyman3030. The first question is, what was your first Lego set? Honestly, I have no idea what that set is. I do know it was a vehicle, a car, from around 1980. I believe it was black and red. Could have been black and white. I really can't remember, but it had the standard chassis plate at that time, which is the big eye with a square in the middle. So it's 4 studs wide and it was black and red or black and white. I thought it was a police car. I tried to do an internet search, but I can't find out what it is. I remember playing with it as a kid, and I remember that I was playing it on the stairs and my dad was coming down for work and he stepped on it and broke it into 2. So the whole chassis plate just snapped into 2. So that's why I remember it, and that is the first set that I ever got. And the second question is, what building in your city is the crown jewel? Honestly, I don't have a crown jewel or favorite building in my city because I don't think of my city in those terms. I think of my city as an interconnection of different buildings and minifigs and details and landscape coming together to create this vibrant and rich city. So that's why I don't have a favorite build. They're all my favorite builds. I like the different buildings that I've placed in my city. At times I do switch in and out buildings or change the landscape, but it's really the districts that bring the city to life. So maybe our favorite districts. I like my beach, I like the town square park, I like my entire underwater display. But that becomes a bit vague, right? Since I like practically everything and all the districts in my city. I hope that answers your question. I don't have a crown jewel or favorite build. The next question is very popular, kind of a two-in-one. Will I do a behind the scenes video of my Lego studio, and how do I organize my parts? To keep it short, yes, I will do two separate videos, one on how I organize my parts, which is quite different from how most people organize their parts, at least based on what I've seen in videos and blogs. The way I organize my parts is very simple, but very effective. I can find parts very fast. It's very mobile, so I can basically bring the parts anywhere I want to build anywhere in the house. I don't have to be confined to my Lego room if I don't want to. And it's very neat as well. They're not in open bins or plastic drawers, so you can't even tell that my Lego room is a Lego room if I'm not building. So you'll see that in that video in the near future. For the other video, the behind the scenes of my Lego room or the studio, I guess I will do a video on where I film my stuff, where I build my stuff, and you get a sneak peek in my entire room. Right now I'm in my work studio, so just to kind of whet your appetite, here's a picture of behind the scenes of this particular studio where I'm filming right now. The next question is from Buddy Nation. How do I decide what to build? That's a very good question. I think if I'm building for my Lego city, then I will have a plan of what particular build I want, whether it's to fill up a specific space or maybe a new set is coming out that I really want to add to my Lego city. So that's quite straightforward. A lot of the smaller MOCs and builds also serve the same function, but to a certain extent I'm also thinking about the content for the channel, because I do want to produce builds that people are interested to as well. So I don't just build for myself, I do build for you, the viewer and the subscriber. So I do consider what you might like and I would build that. I do have hits and misses. Some things that I think that people would like haven't been really popular. Some things that I think were just pretty much okay have been wildly popular. So it's almost impossible for me to predict what you like. Which is why it's so important for you to comment on the videos and let me know if I'm going in the right direction. So at least it gives me some idea in terms of what to build. Raptor Lego Mations asked, what is your favorite Lego Creator Expert modular building? I think that's pretty simple. Assembly Square would probably be the best. I don't think that's really fair because it's a 10-year anniversary set. It combines different build features from so many different sets. So let's take out the Assembly Square, but that is my default favorite set, I guess. But if I were to choose one, it would be the Detective's Office, and I've mentioned this before in other videos as well. The main reasons are, I think there are multiple builds within this one set in a 32 by 32 stud base plate. So there are many different angles, and because you have the L's Barbershop, you have the pool hall, you have the Detective's Office itself, there are just so many different components within one build that makes it very visually interesting, and also makes the build more interesting as well because it's not so monotonous. There are play features, there are different minifigs and different scenarios that you can put because of the different builds. And I'm also a sucker for these Lego brick built 3D signs. So of course there's that pool hall sign, which I think is just so great to be able to create in Lego. Luke Houston Foster asks, what licensed themes do you think that Lego could realistically get in the future? One license that I thought would be possible was the Minions, but I did an internet search and found out that Mega Constructs already has the license for the Minions, so it's unlikely Lego will do that. So I thought about it further, and I think there are three possible realistic licenses or themes that we could see in Lego. The first one is James Cameron's Avatar. So not Avatar the Last Airbender, I'm talking about the blue people, okay? Not the Smurfs, but Avatar. So the movies are coming out, very soon. Possibly, I thought the first one's supposed to come out next year, maybe it's 2020, but they're going to come out in a series because he's making all of them at once. There's going to be a huge marketing push. The first Avatar is still the #1 movie at the worldwide box office. So I would think that it's possible that Lego would do a license with them to have Avatar Lego builds. I mean, there are the machines or the mechs that they could build, which would be very popular. And I can imagine maybe the trees. Definitely they'll do molded animals and such. So I think it's very possible. The second one is Men in Black. So the reboot is coming out as well. It's already begun in production. And I can see this as being quite interesting, from spacecrafts to aliens, and of course the Men in Black and the suits for the minifigs. So that's quite interesting as well. And finally, one I doubt they'll do it, but I hope they do it, is Fast and Furious. We're going to get at least 2 more Fast and Furious movies. So just with the vehicles alone, that would satisfy a lot of the Lego fans who like vehicles. So I hope they do that. And I think the minifigs will be cool as well. Guide Guy asked a few questions. Here's the first one. When did I get into Lego? You'll probably be surprised, but as an adult, I got into Lego very recently, December 2016. And the first sets that I got, they were Modular Buildings, Palace Cinema, and Assembly Square. And we built Palace Cinema first because the guy at the store said, don't do Assembly Square first, because if you do that, you'll be very disappointed with Palace Cinema, because Assembly Square is so much more complex and interesting. But that's really what sparked off the whole interest in Lego as an adult. And that also answers his second question, is why did I start Small Brick City? It was almost about the same time. In my professional work, I create a lot of content, both video and written, because I've written quite a few books. And I wanted to build a Lego city. I thought it would be very interesting because of the modular buildings. I saw the potential, but there was no resource on how to build an elaborate, textured, rich city in a small space. You see lots of Lego cities which are sprawling, big, huge cities in conventions, or AFOLs with entire basements or rooms dedicated for a large Lego city. But I knew that not everyone would want to dedicate a whole room, either have the space or want to invest in that space to have just a whole room for Lego in their house. But there was no resource for that, and I knew I had ideas. I have a design background, so building and coming up with MOCs, creating layouts for Lego cities, came very natural to me. And over a short few weeks, I developed an idea of how to build the city within a small space to make it interesting, to make it rich. So I decided I should write a book and I should create a video channel to showcase all of this, because I believe in the world there will be a large segment of people who would love to have Lego City but thought it wouldn't be possible because they didn't have a whole room that they could build a Lego City. They made only one part of the room, or maybe just one wall. But I've shown that it's possible to have quite an elaborate city within a small space. If you've seen my Lego City walkthrough, you can check it out on my channel page. The entire footprint, which is the area space of my city, is only 6 foot by 2 feet. So it's not big, yet the city is pretty elaborate and textured. And in time to come, when I decide to invest or allow for bigger space for the city, the same principles apply, and I'll be able to maximize the space. It's all about maximizing space. So regardless how much space you have, even if you have a big space, I personally feel if you don't maximize the space, the Lego city doesn't look interesting as well. It just looks big. And big doesn't always mean the best. So it's about how you use the space and make it interesting. So that's how Small Brick City came about. But it took me 9 months to create the content, to write the book, to create the city, which is the basis of the book as well. And if you check my YouTube channel, you'd see that the first video was released on the 21st of September, just a little over a year ago. And that's with a 6-month break in between because I was busy with work. But I only started producing the videos 9 months in starting Lego. So during that 9 months, I was just building, coming up with ideas, experimenting with MOCs, and of course doing research by looking at other YouTube channels, MOCs on Flickr, MOC pages, the forums, Pinterest, and I was just building my knowledge base and coming up with my own ideas and seeing what ideas of mine were original that I could share with people. So that's how I got started in Lego and how I started Small Brick City. The final question is from Lego Star 92. How do I start my own Lego channel? If you'd like to share your Lego hobby with the world, or you think you have original, useful ideas that will be of value to people, start your own Lego channel. It's not difficult from a technical standpoint in terms of creating a YouTube account and uploading a video. Go ahead and do it. And I think it's a great creative outlet. If you have a regular job or if you're in school, this is a great way for you to express yourself and connect with different people around the world and be part of the international Lego community. But if you really want solid advice on how to set up the channel, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers, I've actually released 2 videos on this subject. So check out the links in the description, I'll place them there. And this is 40 minutes of content on how to get 1,000 subscribers in 6 months. And I give sound advice, or at least I think it's sound advice. I give you practical advice which worked for me, and I know I've worked for other people because they have taken some of the advice and applied it to their own channel. So check out those videos and it'll really help you get started with your own Lego channel. Well, that's it for this Q&A video. I hope that I answered your questions and you found this interesting. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me, feel free to ask them in the comments. Or if you'd like to reach out to me privately, just do so on Instagram at Small Brick City. Well, thank you so much for watching, and once again, like the video, and if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.